other ADCs, I think he's going to be just fine no matter who he plays.
Yeah, certainly the case. So we'll see how that comes through as we are now into picks and bans. And first ban punching out the ticket for the Swain train. No one will be able to run that champion down this time around. Kha'Zix taken out. Don't want Longboy on something that can do that much damage. I understand. We'll see if he gets onto. Was it the J4 he played? No, that was Aqua Blue that played the J4.
That was Aqua Blue,
Longboy,
number one. Yeah.
Longboy in game number 1
played
jungled
Skarner.
with Skarner.
Yep.
That's right.
That's why I was wondering if maybe they want to ban away the Zac and actually give him the Skarner, because that Zac was devastating in that bot side, and he wasn't as effective until level 6, but they are going to ban away the Skarner, keep that away. They still have one more ban. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it is the
it's Zac or Trist.
Yeah, I would almost. That was a tough.
It always has to be. Well, they've been banning Xayah consistently as well, so they don't want to see that one coming through.
Right.
So
that's the thing.
You never know.
You're banning out Aaron. He has plenty of champions. I mean, an ADC is an ADC. Obviously, yeah, there are nuances. There's scaling, but they don't affect the entire map like Longboy has. We're gonna see what they ban out here, as Tristana is actually gonna be banned away by Toronto, so they're actually gonna deny that off the map.
Aaron maybe heard me said, you know what? I'm just gonna prove a point here. Takes that one out in a way. Doesn't want it. So Malala. Maybe going to be playing that Jinx yet again. We'll see if that comes through or not. Last ban now, ticking down to the wire. We talked about Zac. We'll see if it's Zac. I think it might be Zac.
It's either that or Xayah, but if you...
And Zac.
It is Zac. There we go. I don't blame them for taking that one off. Now Longboy has to go back on his third string jungling
Xayah
pick.
First pick.
And Xayah
first pick.
Yeah, yep. Xayah has been banned out out of 2 times so far, and it has to be a first pick for Aaron. Kind of baited that one out. They took away the Tristana, made them force New York University to either ban out the Zac, who Longboy could have first picked, or the Tristana, or I'm sorry, the Xayah, who actually did get first pick. So we're gonna see Xayah on that bot side.
Yep, Caitlyn first pick, not a huge surprise there. Want to play that into Xayah, has had it banned against him, so Malala will have that. The Morgana as well, something that the side of New York University banned last time. They say this time we can make something happen here. I would be surprised if Longboy goes with a Shaco. I don't believe that's actually going to happen.
I mean, he's impressive on everything he's played thus far. I wouldn't be surprised if he played a Shaco to a very big success as well. This Morgana pick makes me think that AD Carry is going back into jungle, because they banned. Well, Morgana was banned last game. Of course, I don't know. I don't think Toronto could have been privy to Morgana or Aqua Blue going into the support role, but that is what happened whenever they decided to role swap on the side of New York University. So that might be Aqua Blue going down into the support role. We're going to see how that turns out. But we do have a Xayah Rakan, which is an extremely powerful lane on that bot side. Xayah Rakan, of course. Rakan does get that buff, that extra distance on his shield, which allows him to make some pretty huge engages whenever he's able to use that distance. But then a Scion on the top side for June.
Yeah, June is going to say, anything you can do, I can do better. Take that one away from Sprinkle. Say, I don't even need the Gnar to beat you. I'll take the Scion. We'll be A-okay and run through. So third different champion now for June in this series. Longboy is, I'm sorry, not Longboy, is reading the Rakan as well. Dead Lee going to be playing a diverse pool as well this game. Now, Olaf taken out and away as we do get into the second round of bans. They're still just trying to put pressure on the Longboy. And we'll see if they opt for it. It could be, yes, 5 jungle bans coming out. So that would be impressive, because then they're giving Defrep, the player who got a pentakill, absolute priority in the mid lane. They're giving, they already gave Aaron, rather, absolute priority in the AD role. The ban comes out, and it is Rek'Sai. So they say, you know what? Hey, we hear you on this jungle thing. We're on board. I am Longboy, and I can do anything. Because it's also taking away from the pool now of potentially what NYU's going to pull.
Yeah, there are 6 jungle bans thus far, out of a total of 10, by the way. So over 50% of the jungle bans, 60 if anyone's doing the fractions right here, but 60% of the bans so far are going to be on jungle. This is interesting. I understand the Olaf ban, because that is a very similar style as the Skarner with the Predator, and now another jungle ban, this time on the Eve, being taken away from Longboy. I would love to see another jungle ban just to keep the meme alive. 8 out of 10, please.
Yeah, no, very much so. We'll see. And Ornn does come down, so don't want Maulface playing that one. So definitely, not the jungler that we were potentially hoping for, but it is still a 5 jungler ban coming out. New York University if they don't pick a jungle right here, right now, they are certifiably insane.
That is interesting. They banned him Ornn because Ornn is not a jungler. That is interesting. Cho'Gath's already picked. More than likely going to the top lane. Can flex to
Yeah.
mid. That makes me wonder if Malphite is going that Cho'Gath in the mid lane, considering they picked the Ornn. I don't know if Toronto would know this, but they might have banned it just in case they want to put the Cho'Gath as a flex pick. But either way, Jack's going to be picked up from Aqua Blue, aggressive jungler, and a little bit of a different jungler than he's played thus far, as he played the Jarvan the first time around, and the Sejuani second time. Jack's different play style, may be
Yeah, hang
more
on. How has
aggressive.
Sejuani made it all the way through?
I have no idea.
Of all the junglers banned, Sejuani is one that I would think would be.
Please!
Don't do this. Don't do. No, guys, not with Josh on the desk.
You're killing me. Why Ivern? Not well. You'd be fun. You would be fun to cast. I would love Fiddlesticks. If they don't do Fiddlesticks,
Yeah.
they're just breaking my heart. By the way, this is the second Canadian team to troll me by doing that. SFU was the
Yeah.
first one. That's fine. Kane picked up. That is a logical choice here. You're going to go for a big aggressive damage jungler on the side of Toronto.
You know what? And with the rotations that Longboy was able to make, Kane seems like a nice natural fit for this player. Vladimir coming down for Def Ref. It was banned against him the last 2 games. So obviously with this new fun jungle ban strategy that New York University is employing, we will see how they should have prioritized that Vladimir and if this should have been something to consider from the start. Now, Malzahar, the option to take in from Malphite. It's a much more general composition coming out from the side of New York University. I like Aqua Blue being on this Jax. I feel like it's going to fit his playstyle that we've seen a little bit better. Sprinkles on the Cho'Gath. You know, this guy in the top lane has had some question marks around him. He had a good Scion game, but just couldn't keep up with Junex and really Aaron on that Tristana first time. Then in the Gnar, really just not much to say about that game because that was the pentakill that Def Rep just took everything out so quickly with. But we'll see how we can revitalize on the Cho'Gath. It's a rough composition coming out from Toronto. This has a lot of tools at its disposal for making your life hell if you are NYU. There's some good defensive options for the side of New York University. I'm curious to see how they're going to execute on them.
Yeah, University of Toronto, they are going just for straight kill. They have Scion as their big tank, their front line, and that's about it. Rakan actually just switched from I think it was a flash to exhaust. So he's actually going to ignite exhaust on that bot side. Makes me wonder if he's going to spell the spellbook, unsealed spellbook as well. That would make sense to me. Rakan can use that very well. It's not a bad summoner for or a bad keystone for him whatsoever. But it is curious that he started with the exhaust and the ignite. Makes me wonder. Makes me think that Kane Longboy, he's going to go to that bot lane camp and they're going to get aggressive down there once again.
Well, you know, Kane, Longboy camping in the bot lane, something I feel like we saw that before somewhere, you know, just might work for it. No, definitely worked for him on the Zach game last time around. So if you can do it with Kane this time through, we'll see. A lot of emphasis now on to AD carries Morgana just to keep Milala alive. He's had a hard time peeling throughout the early points of this series. Had the Braum, couldn't do it there. Had the Tom, couldn't do it as well there either in the face of the Skarner. So now Morgana, a little bit more nuanced of peel, not as tank beefy focused peel. We'll see if that can come through because the Black Shield, very, very strong. I'm interested to see how it all pans out for him here as we are getting ready to get into the third game.
Yeah, getting ready. The Black Shield I actually really am interested in because can completely deny a Rakan engage. He knocks up and he can also taunt, but throw a Black Shield denies both of those. They're not going to do that much damage to take off the Black Shield, so that's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, like you said, we are getting into this spectator delay. Only about a minute 30 left. Want to give a quick shout out to our social media reps here. That is Discord. You can type exclamation point Discord in our chat to join our community. Have you ever always heard? Sometimes we do random some ARAMs for the community, things like that. Just had one last Friday after the Ward Up where I participated in it. I think Steven Johnson returned. One of our other casters also participated along with some other people in the community. Very fun times. Go join us. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/CStarLeague, or if you just want collegiate League of Legends material, that is twitter.com/CSLLOL. You can also follow us underneath here at Fekez and of course at Corvus. Just follow those down there. Type them into your Twitter search bar. You can find us just like that.
That's actually not my Twitter. Exclamation point casters in the chat for my Twitter. If you want to yell at me with any sorts of feedback, always love to hear it.
Yeah, do that. Sorry about that. I don't know why they put at. That's okay. I'll complain about that later. Anyways, there you can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/CStarLeague. And if you missed any of the action, you want to go back and look at some of the VODs, talk shows, Ward Up, the Quad, or any of the quarterfinals that we have been able to cast, or even the Teemo Cup, we keep all of them on our YouTube for VODs at youtube.com/CStarLeague. And one last quick shout out. I want to give a shout out to Twitch for being here with us from the very beginning. The largest streaming platform in North America today. We wouldn't be here without them, and we very much appreciate their support in the collegiate community. Follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/Twitch and facebook.com/Twitch as we count down and get into this game. Toronto versus New York. Game number 3, best of 5. New York has some stuff they need to recover. They need to recuperate here. And yeah, it's kind of down to the nitty gritty here. Toronto, they just need one more game, and they're into the semifinals.
It is the reverse sweep necessary outside for now New York University rather. Toronto, one game to put it to bed. We'll see how they do it.
Yeah, they have the team comp to work with here. As you see it on the screen, they do have a lot of aggression on the side of Toronto. The Kane, the Vladimir, Azaya, Rakan. Rakan can be very aggressive. He's taking that unsealed spell book, so that does make sense. Is going to start with the Ignite and the Exhaust. Again, I expect to see some aggression coming out from Longboy on that bot side, considering he has those 2 summoners. You don't want to waste those. If you go that aggressive, you got to play that aggressive. I expect to see that. It's been pretty aggressive thus far from Toronto, especially in that game number 2, capitalizing on every small mistake that New York University has been making.
Yeah, aggressive name of the game thus far. We'll see how it all pans out for them here. Game number 3, and it looks like New York University sticking together through and through. That's how they do it.
Yeah, that's their grouping. Trying those cheese. They like their cheese strats. I absolutely love New York University. They have a lot of fun, it looks like, playing this game. Even if they're tilting, with the Ord mid first game, they've been grouping in here. They just want to catch somebody. They want to make a statement like, I killed you, tilt a little bit. They want to try to get that tilt factor in. Thus far, Toronto, they haven't been able to be tilted. And it looks like, knowing that they're not going to be able to catch anybody, New York University, they're just going to go back and go to their respective lanes here.
Well, looks like they're going to get some good vision down now from the side of University of Toronto. Should they want it, actually, they held off on that. I was expecting some wards to go down, as we already are past the first minute. Not going to be the case this time around. Kane just hanging off in the wings. So we'll see how he does decide to...
Now he goes there.
Yep, to pan it out. Going to be spotted out by Aqua Blue, and he's trying to early invade the Raptors, but look at that. Not what you want. Stun should come through. Malface is here, actually, as well. And with Sprinkles having the knock-up on that Cho'Gath, I just might wonder if they get this. They're going to let it go. He's close enough to his own jungle that they don't want to go that deeply. They didn't exactly know what might come from Defref and Junix, so playing it safe.
Yeah, you have to pay respect to your opponent, no matter what. No matter if you're game number 2 in a best of 5 and you're up, you only have one more game to win. You still have to pay respect to your opponent. I feel like Longboy could have done that one a little bit better. Now he's going to go into his jungle. A little bit weakened. Aqua Blue should be relatively fine, but I think Aqua Blue should outpace Longboy because of that cocky maneuver there. Lost a lot of health. Might have to go back a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we'll see. So jungle, an interesting place to keep your eye on throughout the remainder of this game. Going to see what Aqua Blue can do to make sure that Milala and AD Carry have good lanes, as I feel like Malface and Sprinkles are going to want to play more of a farming-centric game, especially because you're not getting too many solo kills down onto the Vladimir, onto the Scion, if you're Cho'Gath. So bot lane seems to be the focus for both of these teams. I think with the Xayah Rakan, it's such a hard lane to run into, even if you do have a Kate Morgana, which in and of itself a big old bully lane. It's going to take some jungler help wherever they go, but with an Ocean Drake down here now, we saw 2 Infernals to start the last couple games, and that brought out a really big rush for each of them. This time, maybe not. A lot of players are more than willing to let that Ocean go by the wayside for the first 10-15 minutes of the game. Not as big of an objective as the kills are. Very much what a lot of these players, these junglers, are seeking out. So we'll see if this turns out a lot like my solo queue games, where it's gank, 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 kill, 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 kill.
Yeah, we're gonna. I will be excited if it's just kill, 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 because that does make for a very exciting game, as we see a lot of aggression in the mid lane. Malface doing very nicely, going into Defref. Of course, he is playing Vladimir, but we do see Aqua Blue coming on the backside.
Yeah, he wants it. That is what we were talking about. Aaron going to get stunned up there. There is the binding as well, but it actually catches on to Dead Lee. We'll see if he's dead indeed. First blood, but it's spat back out by Aaron. He finds the kill. So ADs trade one apiece, and the slight advantage then going over to Milala just in that it is first blood. But the assists were there more so for the side of Toronto, University of Toronto here.
Yeah, he did get first blood, but Aaron, he is able to be in that bot side and still farm, something that Malala is not going to have the pleasure of with that death timer. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Aqua Blue that actually went down. My bad. So actually, Malala still is going to stay down there. So yeah, advantage does go over to Malala, but Aaron, he does have double buffs now, which is in itself a big advantage. Having that red buff early on is huge, not to mention you can now spam your abilities, which is really big for a caster AD, which, Aaron, Isaiah rather, somewhat of a caster AD, does have a lot of reliance on those feathers, but does do a lot of damage just by the auto attacks themselves as well, but still.
Well, yeah, just being able to just spit out ability after ability thanks to the blue buff that was transferred over. I mean, I know it's double buffs and red buff is more AD centric, but just having that so early, that early blue buff just has to feel outstanding if you are Aaron in this situation. So we'll see how he can make the most of that one, because CS is, in favor currently of Milala. He's just able to keep crashing it against the tower here. And that's what he wants in this situation. You want to be aggressive as that Caitlyn. You want to just be able to keep pushing it on down and never really let Xayah and Rakan catch their breath, especially when you have kind of the bailout insurance of the Morgana. Desynchronized back almost meant trouble, but it's just going to be return shoved now coming out from University of Toronto. Aqua Blue in the area, but going to get spotted out, leaving a ward of his own just to make sure there's no funny business going on, and we'll head back to the jungle. Still 1-1, sitting around 5.5 minutes here in this game.
Yeah, Malala and Aaron going back, going to be picking up similar items, having the exact same amount of damage spike, power damage, I should say, damage power on that bot side with the BF sword. They actually both have the exact same items. So they're going to pick up the refillable potion pot as well, refillable pot, and also a control ward just to get a little bit more vision on that bot side, as the ganks can spell death for any team, as we saw just right now. Haven't seen anything from Longboy, maybe waiting to get into level 6 right now. Try to outscale Aqua Blue. With Aqua Blue going down, he actually is having a little bit of a rough time in the jungle, catching up in levels and farm. As we see 40 CS to 26. Longboy, he is progressing a lot faster now. Aqua Blue just now hitting level 5, and that means that Longboy may be looking to gank. He's level 6 now.
Yeah, we talked about a potentially stunted start for this guy, but now he's absolutely running through the walls to this top lane. The gank is down, the suppress in the mid lane, as well as Aqua Blue ganking on the other side, and Mulface finds himself a kill, so it's certainly potent there. Sprinkles will go down, and it's the jungler now for the University of Toronto taking that kill away, so it's an interesting trade, but I think you got to give it to the mid lane Malzahar over the Kayn to get that damage, and look at the bot lane. Aaron goes down in just the 2v2. Deadly also likely not getting out of this one. No summoners to keep him safe there. Didn't have the flash. And New York University are playing a strong early game. Aqua Blue said, we're not going to take that last loss lying down. It's the Caitlyn. They've had it banned against them. They picked it up, and it's working really well in this bot lane, especially against Aaron's first pick Xayah.
This is, first pick Xayah, that is a risk because you do risk getting countered, and they also risk taking less priority on another role, something that they probably could have done on the jungle, the last pick Kayn. Now, with that being said, this is the best start that New York University has had this entire series, and we're going to see if that is what they need to propel themselves into the mid-game and possibly get themselves a win, bring this to a game number 4, because they've had no luck whatsoever in the early game. A little bit of, maybe just a little bit of a shade of I guess I'm going to say luck in the first game, but it was an inevitable. It was just like an
lucky for University of Toronto that New York University drafted Ornn, maybe.
Exactly. It was inevitable that would fall off. That shock and awe, that mid lane, like tanky mechanic that they were going for. It was inevitable that was going to fall off. This time around, though, they have a traditional team comp. They have a powerful mid lane Malzahar. They have Sprinkles in the top lane, not faring so well, but actually is up in farm. He has died once, but still doing well in farm. Can scale very well, especially with his true damage. Can make a.
Now I want to talk to you about farm for just a second.
Do it.
Because look at the farm coming out of Longboy right now. He's sitting at 63. He's only 3 behind his mid laner and 7 behind the score leading Sprinkles in the top lane. That's It's just a wonky game. It's not what you would expect out of CS numbers, that ADs are actually some of the lowest on the totem pole right now.
Yeah, he is absolutely power farming, and not to mention he does have a kill in his name to add to that on the top side. That's when he got Sprinkles right when he hit level 6, able to go up there and ult him and get out. So we're gonna see. I don't know if he's gonna be ganking too much more. There's not really much of a lane to shove. Malphase is in the mid lane, but it's so hard to gank a Malzahar when he has a spell shield up, and especially when Vladimir, he has no CC to really work with.
Right. So once it gets to the team fighting stage, the Toronto composition is going to come online a little bit more, I feel. But here in the meantime, when it's just in these isolated lanes, I very much like the way New York University is able to play this one out. Now, you could argue some mistakes possibly coming from the Zyra Khan lane that led them to those deaths. But either way, the instant capitalization and the ability to just spit out raw damage coming now from, hang on, we have a 4-man in the bot lane, and we're going to see how this one pans out. It's the silence, it's the suppress, it's the chains of corruption, not corruption. The ethereal chains coming down from Morgana to just lock it right up, and Milala killing spree. They put one in onto Aqua Blue as well, and everybody's feeling really good about that one. It is now University of Toronto getting dove by several members of the enemy team in the bot lane, and doesn't feel good. Taste of their own medicine.
No, not at all. Exactly. Taste of their own medicine, indeed. We might have another gank in the top lane. I think Sprinkles, never mind, can't get away from this.
Yeah, no, it's the unstoppable. He flashes out of it, and look at that. June was just on the edge of it. Almost had it in time, but Longboy with the tower juggle. Actually,
boy.
Sprinkles goes down, and look at this Longboy maybe in some trouble here. I think Sprinkles can do this. Is that a double kill? It is! So that's not worth in any capacity. Wow.
Toronto is showing some fault here. They are the ones that aggressed on the bot side in game number 1 and 2. Now this time New York University are aggressing on the bot side. Aqua Blue was the one to make the aggressive oversteps in game number 1 and 2. This time, Longboy is the one making aggressive oversteps. 1v2 on the top side. Sprinkles does go down, but nets himself 2 kills, coming back with an Abyssal Mask. He is going to be ready for another gank up there. Huge plays from New York University on both sides of the map. And you have to wonder if Toronto, they may be getting cocky. They've heavily defeated them in game number 1 and 2, especially number 2. I think that might be going to their head now.
Well, possibly so. Keep in mind, we did see a relatively back-and-forth game, tied 9-9, 2K gold, flexing back and forth in the first game, and it was really only until New York University themselves got cocky, chasing the Oriana... Sejuani? No,
Skarner.
The Skarner, yeah, the Oriana Skarner into the jungle, and then just getting absolutely punished for it. So we'll see if they can now, obviously having been humbled from the last game, play a much more composed run into this third game, maintain their advantages, and look to mechanically stretch them instead of just chasing through the jungle. Or will it be just the macro power coming out of the side now of University of Toronto to start shutting down this attempt at a return now through the New York University?
I do like Defref's answer here. He actually went first item, Quicksilver Sash. He is respecting the lockdown potential from Aqua Blue and Malphase in that mid lane. He didn't even have a chance to Sanguine pull when he got ganked the first time. He's going to make sure that factor is completely taken out. Built the Quicksilver Sash. Defref, he's not getting cocky. He is paying respect to the potential threat that New York University offers and building around it. I do like that very much. And now Sprinkles. He's doing very well on that top side now that he has this Abyssal Mask.
I mean, he's getting the CS lead. He's pushing now into the tower pretty well. And Junix,
here we go.
Not having the best of answers, but Longboy has the answers for days. That's the ultimate, just to make sure he gets nowhere near that tower. Won't be another double kill this time around, and the mastery spam coming down. Longboy, it was the bot lane he camped last game. It's the top lane this game, and he just finds a lane, sticks to it, and locks it down like iron. So anyone potentially on the other side of the bracket that might be coming up against University of Toronto, provided they close this series out, be on the lookout for this guy, because if you ganked once, chances are it's happening again.
Yeah, it's the classic, if one lane is doing poorly, go to the other lane and accelerate it. That's exactly what Longboy is doing. And June, he's not even taking the kills. He has no kills. He's giving those kills over to Longboy because he's the one that's going to be snowballing in this game. Very nicely played on the top side, being able to take advantage of Sprinkles. Now, consequently, they lost the bot side turret. That is the first turret of the game going over to New York University. They're also going to lose this mountain. No, I'm sorry, this is the Inferno Drake.
Infernal Drake, yeah.
Infernal Drake, and that is going to be a little bit more power. Are they going to lose it? Yeah, they do.
Oh, he wants to come in. Yeah, Longboy could not find it in time. Now with the black shield down on Aqua Blue, he should be in pretty good shape. And you can't say the same for Longboy, actually.
Not at all.
Suppressed behind enemy lines. Mallface with the flash out just to be safe. Don't think he needed it, but wanted it all the same. And they find another advantage to pocket themselves for the University of New York, or rather New York University. Gonna reset these lanes. It should be the lane swap up now to the top side. And if they can hold out mid on this barrage from DefRef and Judex, which I think it's just gonna be the wave crashing in anyway, then they're in great shape.
Very much so. They were able to pick up not only the Infernal Drake, but also shut down Longboy onto that one. It wasn't a huge shutdown, but it was a little bit of gold going over into their pocket on the global level. And that is, again, just a little bit more of an advantage over to New York University. They are coming back. They are taking every little inch, and eventually inches do make miles. And they're looking to turn that into a mile pretty soon. DefRef, though, he's farming up very well. He only has 1 death on his name. He will be a big carry potential. He actually has 1,300 gold in his pocket. Going to be going back, picking up something pretty huge very soon. As we see the rotations coming out from both teams going to the top side. Going to be trying to push down that turret is New York University. NYU, they have 1 turret right now looking for their second in the top side.
I feel like this favors NYU in the lane swap just because they did so well in this 2v2 in the bottom lane. And now at 3-0, hang on, are you kidding me? Nice route over the wall means bad news for Dead Lee. He's going to actually potentially be in some real trouble here. It's going to be the block necessary from Aaron, but look at that. Morgana with the damage makes Aaron eat the ultimate anyway. Was it all a ruse? The answer is perhaps. Getting out of that one deadly by the skin of his teeth, but look at that. It's another kill now just for the duo lane of New York University.
Yeah, too much pressure being put on to Aaron and Deadly, and now Malala and AD Carry, they've reached the point where they can just outright duel Aaron and Deadly. They don't have to wait for a gank. They can do it themselves. We do see Longboy going to the top side, maybe looking for something, knowing that there are no ultimates on the side of NYU on the.
You have to be careful here. This could just be a double buff donation. Hang on now, Longboy. What are you doing? Malala wants to take the tower damage. Doesn't care. Teleports coming in. Should still get the kill here. No, the shutdown comes through. Are you kidding me? It is the Rift Herald down. It is Mallface taking a kill now. He finds the double buffs for himself, so it's a little bit of a hot potato juggle there, but they do get it onto their mid laner. Malala very close to making that one happen. Shutdown gold goes to Longboy, but with the Rift Herald, with the 1-for-1 trade, and double buffs now to Mallface, that is absolutely worth for NYU.
Yeah, Mallface, he was not getting many kills in that mid lane. Now that DefRef was going to had this Quicksilver Sash, he also had the stopwatch. Mallface picking up kills elsewhere, also getting assists, and that is how you project yourself or propel yourself into the mid game very early if you cannot get kills in that mid lane. You just farm, which he's doing very well at 151, and then get kills elsewhere. That's exactly what they're doing, what he's been doing also. Might be trying to pick up that mid lane turret, not going to go down for it, actually does pick it up.
Yep. Double buffs.
Yeah.
Feeling really good about that one. The Voidlings as well, going to make sure he's in really good shape to keep pressuring this one on out. Now, Mallface and Aqua Blue should be coming now, I would think, to pressure this top lane turret. They want to find it. They know they have the Rift Herald, and there's the strength from Malala and AD Carry just to force things out there. Now, where they do have to be careful is in the 5v5, because there's a lot of wombo combo that can come down now from the side of University of Toronto. So it becomes a question of how do they want to play it when it gets into that team fighting stage of the game. Do they still want to play scrappy, look around for the fights, find the picks, and get the damage? Or are they going to try to challenge U of T in that 5v5 and just see what happens?
Their power spikes are arriving a lot earlier than U of T. So NYU, they possibly could pressure a team fight here and win it. DefRef, again, he's still doing well.
Herald.
The Rift Herald is being popped. There's no wave to really support it, though. I feel like this is going to be a wasted Rift Herald overall, I believe. Though they can pelt away. There's actually no wave clear on the side.
They didn't do it. They're just backing right off.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, there's not too much wave clear on the side.
They're waiting for their wave. Okay.
Yeah, they're waiting for the wave. There it is. They might pick it up, but actually they're...
Yeah, that's a bit of a waste.
Yeah, it is. That's unfortunate. They do get a lot of damage on that turret. They can rotate back around to it eventually, but you never want to waste that Rift Herald. You always want to
an objective for split push. Cho'Gath split push. Held their attention long enough, perhaps.
Still going. Cho'Gath doesn't really push too hard. He does clear waves, but there's really no steroids to help him take out a turret, though. So it is going to be weakened here. And Longboy once again caught.
Silenced before he can get over the wall to suppress. And look at that downtown shot from Malala. This is bad news bears for the University of Toronto. They had a dominant second game. They're getting dominated now in game number 3 is 4K gold to the advantage for New York University, and These guys show no signs of slowing down. They're playing measured, they're playing clean, and it's working for them. This is the slowest they've gone. It's also the best they've done. So I like this revitalization coming out of NYU. We'll see if U of T can find an answer, because it's still only game number 3, and this would be the first win, and it's still a long way off for NYU.
And this may have been lost in pick and ban, because UOT, I mean, let's face it, there are like seven jungle bans. UOT, yeah, University of Toronto banned some of those as well, which meant consequently they let New York University, they let them get some of their comfort picks. They let Malala get Caitlyn. They let AD Carry get Morgana. Sprinkles to get Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath was banned out last game as well. This is just a big fault on University of Toronto. They got cocky. There's a best of 5, so they know they have a game to waste here, but you don't want to do that. The more you do, the more strategy you give away, and the more, the more hope you give your enemy. This could bring back New York University into a game number 4, give them the hope they need, and keep them from tilting. Give them the chance to win possibly another game. Bring it to a game number 5.
Momentum is so real in a best of 5 series, and if you can offset it, if you can just find it right there when University of Toronto is so close, and offset right there and just change things back up on the 3rd game often enough, that means that it's an easier road to that game number 5, and really lays down the groundwork for so many reverse sweeps that we do see. Now, it's very early to be talking about that, but we've called some things a little early. We were starting to think that, maybe Western was shaking in their boots a little bit at this Toronto squad. Some signs of maybe they're not as infallible as we thought this time through. NYU exploiting pretty well, but how many games can you get away with 7 jungle bans? You raised the good question there.
Yeah, that's the big thing here, is that they kind of disrespected in the pick and ban phase, and they're paying for it now. And New York University, they're saying we are not going to be disrespected. We are going to be taken seriously here. As we hear the Scion ult.
Scion, yeah, he's charging through, doesn't find anything, just hits the wall. But look at this. The more attention that the top side of the map for NYU can draw, the better. They know it's 2 members down. Trying to Sheeds just inhibitor turret. Leaves the door open for U of T to try the Baron. They want to go in. They try to find Sprinkles. He is exhausted. Flashes over the wall to buy time. And look at this. 2 members now on to Longboy, forcing a flash out there as well. It's all well and good. The side of New York University is very happy to continue prolonging this one out, because look at the bottom lane. We still have the inhibitors coming down. They might lose Sprinkles, but Malface finds now onto Longboy, and so that's not good for the remaining members of University of Toronto. The tower is down. The inhibitor following as well, and look at this top lane tower in some trouble. They're going to delay as many backs as they can, which is none of them. The tower will go down, the inhibitor will go down, and it's a solid win on a 1-for-1 trade. NYU are able to find 2 towers and an inhibitor. Really intensely good macro.
Toronto once again being cocky, showing disrespect. They started the Baron when they knew the members of New York were around. They should not have started that Baron. Bait it possibly. Start it? No. They started it. The Baron actually started pelting away at them just ever so slightly. But then once again, Longboy, he got caught. He keeps flashing his mastery. He's not showing a mastery level play on this Kayn whatsoever. He keeps getting caught, and he's getting destroyed. It's 4, 5, and 0. Started out 3, 1, and 0, by the way, outside of laning phase.
It's the fall off.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not just the fall off. He's just playing cocky. He's not playing this Kayn properly. He's overstepping his bounds into a Malzahar, into a Jax, and they're just completely shutting him down.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate now for the side of U of T. They are going to have to find a way to reset in this one, because New York University making the USA proud with this run back into things. I'd really like to see the way that they've made a run back into this best of 5 series. Because after that second game, how could you not just be a little demoralized, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that that's what we expected in game number 3. A completely demoralized NYU, but it shows that in these top caliber teams, it's harder to tilt them than it seems. And Toronto, it's
a good ward.
Yeah, actually, they fight it eventually, but that is actually a really nice ward around the corner. So that control ward inside the Baron pit does not pick it up. But no tilt being shown by NYU. Props to them. They may be picking this one up bringing this one into a game number 4 if it keeps going their way. But Toronto, they still haven't got a turret. They might finally pick up the first turret.
I think they have a chance here. Yeah, the momentum has been swinging NYU, but that's not to say that they are so clearly, decisively just got a perfect game this one. It's a nice flash suppress. This Malzahar then doing work from NYU, and the charm's going to hold up Sprinkles for a minute, but Aaron in a lot of trouble here, won't be getting out of that one alive. Sprinkles eats him for dinner and moves right along. They're going to be able to push down this mid lane pretty well here. Bot lane's already pushing to their favor, and they say, hang on, forget the mid lane, we want the Baron.
Yeah, and why not? You have Cho'Gath there. He actually does not have his feast up, but there is smite up for Aqua Blue. No smite for the side of Toronto. They have to give this one up. And once again, more advantage going over to NYU. This is the first Baron they've picked up this entire series. Woo. And it's showing up huge for them. They are winning the game number 3 very decisively. And Longboy, he once again got caught inside of his own jungle. There are no wards on his in his jungle whatsoever. There's one right around the Baron pit, but that's about it. Other than that, they're in the river. There are no wards on the side of the actual inner jungle, which when you're losing towers, when you're getting pressed like that, you need wards. You need defensive wards inside your own area.
Certainly the case. And now with the Baron constricting the sight lines as they are just going to be pushing out through lane after lane after lane, it's going to be only that much harder for the side of the University of Toronto. Not to say they can't do it, but to say it's looking like they might not. There's no Malzahar suppression this time, but Malala with the Black Shield can chase a decent amount. And look at AD carry. It's the nice setups. This Morgana Caitlyn is so destructive, and assuming we're going to get to that game 4, I cannot see a world in which University of Toronto allows this one through again.
Unless they get cocky, which, I mean, they did this pick and ban phase. You can't do that in the quarterfinals. This gives.
Is this not humbling? Is this not a good reason why you shouldn't get too cocky?
Exactly. This is the quarterfinals. You're going on to possibly the semifinals here. You can't afford to get cocky. This is when things really come in here, but if we haven't engaged.
Oh, the charge coming down. I don't think he's going to find
really
anything. Actually zooms past it and tries to get the knockup, but the rupture is there first. And with the Black Shield, there is no problem for Sprinkles. He gets out A-okay. It's another Fire Drake coming right up on this one in 10 seconds. We'll see if they can stick around and take it from the side of NYU. They do want that Longboy hanging off in the wings, but could just be more so for his own red buff. We'll see whether or not that is the case.
Malzahar, Malface, he does have his Nether Grasp up, so if Longboy gets over there, he can just be suppressed almost instantly. And it looks like he is going to just back off, not risk this one. Second Infernal Drake going over to New York University. They are in complete control. 10K up right now.
10K, yep, just hit that 10K. Love it.
Yeah, and Malface wasn't even in that, by the way. He's not going to suppress anybody because he's split pushing the top side. No one's doing anything about it. He has Baron minions here.
Ooh,
and there's a flash by Longboy just to avoid being caught once again. And now this inner top lane turret going to go down.
Easily going to be taken out and away. No problem. Aqua Blue coming in to spit out the nasty bit of damage on that one. Bot lane could do with a reset on the split push. Surprising, actually, that Sprinkles is not pushing that one out, but they want to just be whole. They do not want the clutch play from University of Toronto. Toronto wants to find it, but look at that. Dead Lee goes down. He's going to be the first one to fall. Def Ref pretty low as well, but the pool should get him in good position. Aqua Blue says, think again, comes and finds him, and now June X gets Milala. The damage is in a little bit of shambles now, but look at they're spinning it back out. Aaron's trying to find it. Malface rampaging through, doesn't care, but look at that. Longboy on the run back. This is not good. They lost now Milala early, and that means the door is open for University of Toronto. They scraped the Baron off of 3 members. 2 remain, but the Baron do help them find now that top lane tower. The Nexus turrets taking a little bit of a bolstering from the minions. The inhibitor as well in a little bit of trouble. We'll see if Longboy can find the kills onto Malface. The Black Shield is there. The root is up, but it's possibly a double coming out. That's the shutdown. Aaron finds it. And these are some long death timers now that we have to look at for the side of NYU. Malface is 50 seconds. The rest of his team died so early on that they'll be spawning back up pretty soon here. Malala just came up himself. But man alive, that was an aggressive run-in now from the side of New York University, and Toronto punished accordingly.
Yeah, as much as I'm saying that Toronto is being cocky, you cannot reverse that and be cocky yourself. You have to pay respect to your opponents, and overstaying is not paying respect. So University of Toronto taking advantage of that. New York University being taught a little bit of lesson, being put in a slight bit of a place. We're going to see if Toronto can capitalize on it. Now, before that happened, New York, they were able to take out the mid lane inhibitor. There are no
Yep.
turrets left outside of the Nexus turrets for Toronto, so their base is essentially in shambles. But
It's the wave clear game.
exactly, with only one inhibitor down, there still is some hope for Toronto. They could still bring this one back. They do have Longboy, who, I mean, he, despite, well, actually, he has, why does he have, he has two Hex Drinkers.
Sweet.
All right, yeah, all right, well,
Cool.
I don't even know if I want to, all right, yeah, so.
We're just going to gloss right past that one.
Yeah, I'm not very impressed with that whatsoever. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest, and I am not impressed. As
I do not endorse this message.
I do not whatsoever. This is
Don't
quarterfinals.
at me, bro.
Don't at me
Oh boy,
whatsoever. They are going to catch.
Oh, he's in some bad shape. Yeah, the Death Brush works. And now AD Carry, the unfortunate front line for his team,
Ooh.
tries to get out of that one. What burst, though, to come back down onto Longboy. See how well your two Hex Drinkers do there, son. Now they are going to keep pushing this one through. They don't want to charge too heavily without Aqua Blue, and their top lane is getting bounced pretty hard against that tower. Actually might lose this one just latently to the minion wave, so they're going to try to regroup mid, maybe proxy out a wave or two on the top. Yeah, minions find the top lane tower now out of the side of New York University, but charging on through this, I don't really think they can fight too well without Aqua Blue. Aaron is very healthy, very strong, and has the potential there. Keep in mind, Defref, very defensive, has the QSS and the Zanyas. So this guy's going to be very hard to lock down if the fight breaks out, which it just might. Sprinkle's exhausted, doesn't care. He's staying on it. Malface getting in. Longboy is down. Defref, there's the pool. Defensive spell number one. The Zanya's coming through. He still has QSS for this one, but doesn't matter. Doesn't even get to use it as Malala takes him on down and through, and that is absolutely going to be the game. It's a 45-second death timer onto Defref, still relatively healthy with an Ocean Drake just to bounce back up. Look at Sprinkle's health bar. Inhibitor number 3 going to be taken down for good measure as Jax is just buying the time to get himself into the fight. Dead Lee says, I have another plan, and they come in for AD carry, but it doesn't matter. Malface finds that one. Sprinkles is low, but not as low as June X, who will be the first top laner to fall. Aqua Blue making sure he does not get the passive damage out, and just like that, it's 30 minutes. It's our longest game yet, but ladies and gentlemen, University NYU has come in and absolutely torn this one back open. They may not actually be able to end because they're taking so much time, but it's 3 inhibitors all freshly put into the ground. And with this reset, they're going to be feeling pretty good. Baron in 15.
Yeah, they couldn't quite finish it out because they didn't have any minion waves going into their into the base. And Longboy, he did sell that second Hex Drinker, but he's still looking to get caught. That's kind of it's been a theme here. So he's going to back off. Might be trying to secure the Baron. That's the only thing he can really do. But even if without the Baron,
they have Smite Cho'Gath.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They have Smite Cho'Gath, and even if they got the Baron somehow stolen away from them, NYU, they're so powerful they can just brute force their way into the base of Toronto right now. That's how far ahead they are.
Yeah.
And they're just going to go back, collect their last items from the shop, and probably set up for the last push of the game.
Sure. Yeah, Baron's good if it could get stolen away by University of Toronto. But you actually have to play that Baron to perfection because you have super minions pushing every wave. And so even if you're Baron buffing 2 waves against super minions, that third wave, or that third lane rather, that you can't hold off is just going to be a nightmare for your base. And so I would absolutely rather have 3 inhibitors down than Baron in any situation. So they're going to be pushing. I won't say any situation. I'd eat my words there. But all the same, looks like New York University, with the Baron up, super minions all over, are just going to be crashing through these towers. Mountain Drake was the only one they didn't find, but they don't need it for how quickly they blow everything up. Rakan not included, but he does go down quickly all the same. And now Milala trying to kite through. Aqua Blue does find the kill onto June X, and that's going to be the mid laner for Toronto dying as well. Death Rep gone down. Aaron the only one surviving, and there is no way he can pull this off. So that will be game number 3. Swinging back, NYU strikes back to make it a series. Indeed, we have 2-1 still favoring Toronto, but it will not be the clean 3-0 sweep, and the Americans strike back.
I mean, to be fair, we're all Americans. We all come from North America. We are the United States, if you want to get that technical about it, but I won't pressure on that.
You know what I mean. You're being intentionally difficult. Everyone knows what you mean when you say America.
Of course. But yeah, New York University, they absolutely blow this game wide open into a series. Toronto, they cannot afford to be that cocky and pick and ban.
Nope.
They have to ban relevant bans. They have to pick relevant picks. They cannot afford just ban out champions just to be trolly. And It's cute when you do that, but it's only cute until you lose another game and then another game, and then you're out of the tournament. The New York University, they stay alive in this tournament. Quarterfinals, best of 5. We are going on to a game number 4 between University of Toronto and New York University. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest. I am here with Kyle Corvus Curro. We'll get set up for game number 4. Be back in just a moment. Stick around.